Good morning guys and welcome to the Eurocar Show. Today I'm driving the brand new BMW 420d Gran Coupe. This is the first time I'm driving any Gran Coupe from BMW, be it the 4 Series or the 6 Series. So I didn't really know what to expect of this car because to me the 4 Series was supposed to be a coupe and a convertible, and then they made this 4-door which at first didn't make much sense to me. Like, you have the 3 Series, why would you even bother? Apparently they sold pretty well and the car was a success, so this is the facelift now. On the exterior, to be honest with you, there isn't that much of a change. It still looks pretty much the same. You can see a few small changes in the back with the tail lights, a bit with the headlights, and in the overall design maybe, but it's not that striking. As for the interior, again, a small upgrade, but nothing major. It's still a pretty solid interior. You do have some plastic, you do have some materials that might not be as high-end as you might expect from a car that costs about the same as a second-hand GTR. So yeah, that's a lot of money, but is it well spent? We'll talk more about that a bit later in the video. Now let's focus on the interior. As I was saying, not much of a change, but that doesn't mean it's bad. The BMW 4 Series still comes with an amazing infotainment system, with all the little gimmicks, with, you know, Bluetooth, with USB ports, with jacks, with well, heads-up display as an option, and many little goodies that, well, as I pretty much say in every video, have become the norm in the automotive industry nowadays. What's really cool with this car is that I have the M pack on the interior as well as the exterior, so that makes the car look amazing. This is just a 420d and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but the looks this car gets, it's amazing, and that's for two reasons. One, the M pack, obviously, you have the nice 18-inch wheels, they're black. You get the M body kit, which looks awesome. And on the interior, you get this amazing steering wheel. And it might well be the best steering wheel I've ever had in a car. The grip is just amazing, and the leather used to wrap the steering wheel is also great quality. Before moving on to the specs, I want to talk about practicality. At first I thought the 4 Series Gran Coupe would be like a compromised 3 Series, but as I found out, space-wise this car is not that bad. Since this car is pretty much a hatchback, the trunk access is great. The space it offers is more than enough for any regular user, and even in the back, if your passengers are average or just a bit taller than normal, then it should be fine. But yeah, a taller person in the back might struggle with headroom. But besides that, it's a pretty well-rounded car. Quick little disclaimer, I might skip over little stuff like heated seats or you know, options like that, because come on, let's be honest, that's something you expect from a car that costs this much. Alright, spec-wise, what happened there? Where this is the 420d. It comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine. It's obviously turbocharged, and it makes just under 190 horsepower and actually a pretty decent amount of torque, 400 Newton meters, which, believe me, it will get you off the line pretty quickly. Again, I'm not saying this is a race car or any sports car of the sort, but for a daily driver, it moves. The car I have is an automatic, it's the 8-speed, and as I said it before, this is just a great gearbox. Do you really need a dual clutch? I don't think so. Now let's talk about fuel economy. This car was rated somewhere around, I guess, I don't know, 4 or 5 liters per 100 kilometers average. From my experience, in town you should expect somewhere around 7 or a little above 7. As for the highway, if you drive it at around 130 kilometers an hour, you're going to average anywhere from 5 to 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is great. Lastly, if that really interests you, in a 2.0 diesel car, well, this car will get you to 100 kilometers per hour in around 7 seconds, which is basically the norm nowadays for a 2-liter diesel engine making around this much power. I think we've covered enough spec-wise, so I think it's time for me to tell you what it feels like being behind the wheel of this 420d Gran Coupe. To be honest, it's way sportier than I expected. It feels really light on its feet. The steering is great, but then again, you expect that from a BMW because they tend to be sportier than Audis or Mercedes. That's how they are set up to be, and that's great for me. Besides that, there's not much to say. I mean, as usual, I encourage you to experience the car if you consider buying it, or if you just want to have a nice test drive, because this car drives really nicely. And I'm sure if you can afford a bigger engine, be it diesel or petrol, it doesn't matter, I think you'd have plenty of fun with this car. As for daily driving, it's very smooth, it's very easy to drive, it's not noisy, it's spacious enough, and it's super economical. So really, this car, there isn't much to say besides the fact that it's a good car. So I told you I was keeping something from you, and I wanted to cover it at the end of this video, and that's the last option this car has, which makes it really special. This car has that new option that they call Individual at BMW, and it's about the paint. I know it takes a while longer to get the car when you order it with that option, but believe me, it's worth the wait. I mean, the color is superb. I don't know if my camera is able to actually capture the colors, but the paint job on this car is just gorgeous. So I just wanted to say a huge thumbs up, huge thumbs up to the person at BMW BeLux who actually spec'd this car, because oh my god, it just looked, honestly, if I had to build my own 4 Series Gran Coupe, that's exactly how I would have made it. In conclusion, this car is an awesome little piece of German engineering. It looks like $1 million, or at least almost as good as an M4. That being said, I think I'm going to end the review here. I've said pretty much everything I wanted to say about this car. This is not the first 4 Series I've had. This is not the first 20-something D from BMW that I've had. So I just didn't want to go over and over the same details again. I wanted to talk to you about what made this car special, and I think it's right time to end it here. As usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up. Make sure to comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hello. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Your Car Show. So yeah, it's not really that difficult to find. I'm Gabriel, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.